You blinked and it's already the fourth Tuesday of the month of August. That means it's Real Estate Remix with Sisters Who Sell and Tell. That's Poonam and Aruna who are in the KFGO studio. Ladies, welcome back. Poonam, how you been?
It's been great. Thank you for having us back.
Thanks for coming back, Aruna. You as well. Glad to see you.
Yes, same here. Thank you.
I would encourage you to go to KFGO.com. If you just scroll down, you can see the Real Estate Remix page there. You can learn about these two and how good they are at their craft. You can listen to previous podcasts. You can actually ask a question there as well. If you just go to KFGO.com, you can find that. Or you can text in right now at 35270 and get some of those buying and selling questions answered. Ladies, I wanted to ask this because the topic of conversation for the last 2 weeks is about development coming to areas. Last week, we learned Harwood is potentially going to be housing a huge data center. I think it was last year, folks from Abercrombie came in. We're talking about, hey, look, there's going to be a dairy operation that's being proposed, right outside of their town limits. And the question that always follows that is, what's that mean for that home market? Is it going to be a benefit? Is it going to be a negative? Is it easier to sell or buy in those areas? I know the two are completely different, right? When you talk about dairy operation, what comes with that? And then, of course, a data center. It's very broad, Poonam.
Oh, yeah. Big changes in small towns, like cows one side and computers other side. Yeah. It is very different. Both are good projects, I would say. Whenever there are projects, they will bring jobs. They will bring some sort of growth. But, yeah, it also comes with concerns as well. So in order to answer your question, I would say some of the concerns. First, let's talk about what could be the concerns. Mm-hmm. Smell. Air, water, like especially with the dairy and stuff, traffic, taxis and specials, home prices. Yeah. Now, in order to answer this, let's look at the history. Let's talk about Wisconsin. When there were dairy farms there, when they started developing in early 2000, did it drop some of the home prices there? Absolutely. The homes sites that sit close to the, dairy farm, the prices drop. But the one that was further away, it was good because it brought a lot of jobs opportunities. So growth, it didn't affect that. But on the other hand, Indiana in 2008, when there were dairy farms there, because those dairy farms were well-managed dairies with odor control, it didn't hurt the market at all. Actually, house prices went up a little bit. So it all depends. I would say distance matters. Timing matters, and how these things are handled matters. But when it comes to, let's say, traffic, of course, we're going to see more traffic there. Road condition, it's going to be so many trucks coming in and out of the area. I'm sure the local people there are concerned about it. Yeah. And if they're going to be road expansion, improvements, infrastructure changes, who's going to pay for it? Here we go. Are we going to pay higher taxes, more specials? So there is a lot to think about.
There is, and I think you nailed it. Those are the questions that are being raised in these communities. Certainly the one in Harwood, because they're just at a town hall meeting last night of what's it going to mean for my taxes? Am I going to have specials to do the infrastructure updates? Is that going to be paid for by the company? And I'm glad you brought those two examples, because one thing I've been saying, because we've been hearing some of the horror stories of some of these data centers in other parts of the country. They're owned by different people. The practice of that business is different depending on how they operate it, how they build it, how they facilitate it. That not all of them are exactly the same. The impacts, the benefits, there's not a through line on all these different examples.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, when it comes to data center, I would say they're going to be usually quieter than what's going to happen with the dairy farm. If you look at the status before, these tech companies have a lot of money. So generally, most of them end up paying for the development and infrastructure, but I don't know how it's going to be with the dairy farm. No. Again, there's so many questions to ask. I would say be aware of all that, especially local people or surrounding areas. Look for the resources around there. Go to the environmental website, North Dakota environmental website there, attend the council meetings, and make sure you stay informed and be part of that.
Yeah, I think that is important, Aruna, because, when you have those opportunities, oftentimes we just think that someone else is going to ask the questions, take care of it. Not always the case. And some of those questions can be specific, whether or not you're right next to it, or if you're a mile away from it, still inside those limits.
Well, isn't it like all these commercial, they do have some codes which they have to follow. So the dairy farm or this IT company, I really think they won't be, for God's sake, right next to your backyard, first of all.
That's true. There are zoning restrictions out there. Yes.
Yeah.
There has to be some zoning restrictions. So if the families are really concerned, oh, my house will be so like right next to it, absolutely not. Because there is a code, there is a zoning restriction, and I'm pretty sure city will be following those to make sure that it's not literally like right in your backyard.
Yeah. When it comes to the jobs that come with these things, I know we've talked about other developments, and I can come back to Fargo here, whether it's been Amazon, Microsoft. I mean, you get all these jobs that are created because of this, and then with that, you need more supply in housing. I mean, is that what, as realtors, is that what you expect? That, okay, there's going to be more opportunities to have a supply of homes that people can move into, whether it's first time or what have you.
If you look at the Council Bluff, Iowa, 2007, I believe, in the Google built a data center, housing demand jumped. I mean, sellers or homeowners who owned the homes, they gained there. Renters were struggling with the cost, So I see as this happens, especially with Harvard, there's going to be more jobs, more people wanting homes, maybe more renters. So I can see people, especially first-time home buyers, struggling probably to get into. Prices would go up.
Yeah. And that's the thing. As residents there, they're thinking, okay, in 5-10 years, I was maybe thinking about moving, pick a spot, just going to find another small town. Maybe they had a lake cabin. They're going to make that their full-time home. That fear of, okay, my opportunity to sell, that window is either closing or what I'm going to be able to sell it for is going to be diminished because of all the fear that's out there. Whether it's noise, water, all these things that come with it, the challenges that do come with these developments, that initial, okay, I either have to sell now or I'm going to not make as much on my sell 10 years down the road. I don't know if there's a clear answer that we can provide, but try to address that fear that's in some of these current homeowners.
It's a good question. I would say never, like stock market, right? Never sell things unless, if you intend to live in that home and it's serving the purpose. If you like a quiet neighborhood, I totally understand. Stay informed and see how much traffic it's going to attend the council meetings and figure out what's going to happen. Don't make hasty decisions out of fear. That's only going to bring, negativity to your decisions. And yes, it's hard to tell, but if you look at the data in the past, dairy farm versus tech. I mean, tech brings, of course, dairy farm brings jobs as well, but tech brings a lot more with it and a lot more of improvements and house prices go up. So I would say in Harvard, based on the data, house prices would go up.
Okay. It's Real Estate Remix. I see your comments coming into the Adventure RV Text Club at 35270. In studios, Poonam and Aruna. You can go to kfgo.com. You can find the page of Real Estate Remix. You can submit a question there, or as I just told you can text on in. We'll come back to this conversation next year on KFGO. Real Estate Remix on these airwaves. We got another about 40 minutes together, and I want to dive back into the conversation we kind of left off with. And Aruna, also bring this your way. We're talking about the seller side. Let's say you're a resident in Harwood. You're thinking about, well, what's it going to do if I want to sell in 10 years with this new development coming in? We didn't address the buyer side, that there's opportunity where people are seeing headlines of growth, whatever it might be. And the buyer side of this equation, what changes, if anything?
Well, for buyers, okay, that's how I'm going to start. After knowing that there is a big IT company coming in Fargo, well, technically I will say still Fargo, because Harvard is only about 15 to 20 minutes far. So people still live in Fargo and they commute to Harvard or Mapleton or Kindred. So it's going to affect our whole FM community, not only just Harvard, right? And after knowing that there's a big IT company, I already told my sister, I'm not moving. I'm not going anywhere. Jesus, this is the best town ever. We have Microsoft, we have Amazon, we have Costco, Sam's Club, and now, for God's sake, one of the biggest, largest IT company coming in North Dakota in Harvard, literally 15 minutes away from our home. So I'm not moving. And for buyers, it's a sign. A lot of buyers are still sitting and waiting. Oh, interest rates are going to go down or whatever. It's a really good sign that the town growth is happening really good.
Well, and one of the, I don't want to say promises because it wasn't a promise, that, with those new jobs, there's going to have to be new housing. And whether it's in Harwood, whether it's in Fargo, on the north side or wherever, we've become accustomed to having to drive to go to work. I mean, that's just how we've always lived up here. So new housing might not just be in that area. It could be in the Fargo metro area as well.
Absolutely, yes. So we expect more housing, even this side demand, Fargo Moorhead area, or even in Harwood, there's going to be more developments. I can see, new developers approaching the farmers to buy their land, and I can see the strain on the local community there, how, they might be fearful about missing that community and the culture and, the small town feel and the shift is going to bring. They understand it's going to bring jobs as well, but then whenever there's growth, there's crime. So I can see what they're feeling right now.
Well, and to your point about other housing type developments going up north, I mean, there was a landowner up there that said that he was approached by like Goldmark Properties, which of course is big, apartment complexes. So, I mean, they've already talked about having that residential growth go along on that north side. So, and I keep coming back to, one of the things that we've had a challenge with is the supply side in this area, especially those first-time home buyers. Well, if you have that new development, there's going to be a lot of moving pieces on that checkers board that is going to open up those buying opportunities, I think, for a lot of people.
It will. It certainly will. And, for supply side, we are still sitting with low supply for existing home. But for brand new home, I think we are pretty consistent. So, yeah.
And, the other thing our builders and developers are doing, like they're not just sitting in Fargo or West Fargo. Like look at the growth they have done recently from last 5 years. Like in 5 years, like if you go to Mapleton or Kindred, there was no development at all. And now in Horace, in Mapleton,
because we have so much growth. Like how much
land
is available in West Fargo to build? Probably,
that's one of the confinements because we have a diversion that's going to be completed. Which when that was being developed, all the conversation was when it's completed, all the southern growth that you've seen, expect that on the north side because there's nowhere else to be growing inside this metro area. It's going to have to be bottlenecked up there.
Absolutely. So we have to expand. We're left with no choice.
In 10 years, like 10 years ago, if you would have called me, Aruna, can you go and show us a house in Horace or Mapleton or in Kindred? We used to say, let me figure out a day. And then we can go out there and look at some houses. And look at what city has done. Such a beautiful thing because I'm such a scaredy cat, like driving on highways, especially in winter. Okay. They have opened all those like inside roads. So,
but that brings higher taxes, higher specials, Aruna. Yes.
Sorry, that's exactly. It's that balance of the growth and who's paying for it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the fear factor in this is, if we're going to be stuck with it as residents, existing or that new development, is that property tax line. We've heard it down in Horace where some people were surprised by the specials now that have been leveled against those newer developments of, I can't make this work, is the fear that some people have. Not saying that it's going to be universal, it happens to all properties. But that's why I think this conversation is so important because growth is great, but there are the challenges of making that growth happen that I think some people are leery on making that, okay, I'm ready to sign on the dotted line thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are a person who love your quiet neighborhood and you move to that particular area just because you can even remember, only 2 tractors and 3 cars passed today. And now there's going to be a car every minute or like, temporary construction site. It's going to affect, everywhere.
Well, and those are the challenges that come with growth. But, there's also opportunities for people to, take advantage of it by having a business, or there are other options out there because the market's going to grow along with the development that comes this way. When we come back after a KFGO News update, you can send in your questions to 35270. There was a couple other items that I wanted to discuss today. Some things that might not be covered in that North Dakota property disclosure and why it's important to know that before you buy a home. Also, I want you to talk about your listing of the day. I want you to highlight for people out here that they've got a vision of what they want in a house, but I want you to sell it to them through the radio. That's what we're going to do in this final half hour of Real Estate Remix has taken over Afternoons Live on this Tuesday afternoon right here on KFGO. Every fourth Tuesday, we're joined by Poonam and Aruna. It's Real Estate Remix. Again, you can go to KFGO.com. You can submit a question there, and I can read them, or you can text in at 35270, which is where I'm going to go and read a comment. And Aruna, I'll send this your way. For people like me and my age, or many my age, that would like to downsize to an age-friendly home, it's impossible. nothing's available, or that makes sense to sell my home to buy one of those other facilities. If there were, that would open up a lot of existing family homes for some of these other buyers.
Well, first of all, thank you for whoever asked this question. It's a really good question. So I would like to know that, like, what price range they're looking for, what specific neighborhood they're looking for, what layout they're looking for, and are they looking and doing all the research alone, or are they teamed up with the real estate professional? Because once you team up with the real estate professional, so you're not just alone house hunting, someone else is basically doing the job for you too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There are options out there. Even, and my understanding is you're probably looking at age 55 plus, looking at the question, and you're probably leaning towards a ranch or slab on grade. Yes, if some of them are higher ends and you're looking for something lower price range, even though you might not find them on the market, if you're open to building, you could talk to your realtor and they could show you model homes. So I don't agree that options are not out there. Maybe you have to approach it differently. That's why I encourage everybody to have the realtor and team up with a realtor who knows the market really well. Our job is to make sure we show you the properties that matches your need.
And I think what some of the reluctance is making that phone call to you as realtors, because then you feel like you're locked in. Now all of a sudden it's real. That, okay, now I've got to get in that mindset that I'm actually going to sell this thing, I'm going to buy, I'm going to move. And that's not always the case. Just because they pick up the phone and call you Aruna or you Poonam, that it's not like, okay, this ball's rolling and there's no stopping until this thing's done.
No, by just calling me, you haven't married me, no. Or I'm not going to keep on calling you. Yeah. No. I mean, it could be a simple conversation. And I totally understand there could be some people out there who might just keep on calling you, but no, go with the people you trust and, just be honest with the professional or realtor. Like, okay, I'm just exploring my options out there. I am not in a rush, and set those boundaries in the beginning.
And I think the last point this individual was making was, whether or not there are things available or not, is there's a generation there that has a lot of these homes that are those family homes that they don't necessarily need it right now, and if they had an option that they could move into, downsize, whatever, their empty nesters, that supply issue we talk about for some of those families that want to buy a home, that this could get that ball rolling for them, is how I read this.
Yes, and I don't even know how they're even searching for the homes. Are they just, going on a certain website? So that's why teaming up with a realtor and telling them about your needs, supply is way better than what it was a few months ago. So it would be hard for me to say that I don't even have any buyer right now where I can say I can't find you a home unless there is unrealistic expectations, like they want 2,000 square feet, newer home, and they're only approved for 250, and they want a single. Then I'm going to be honest with them. But all those factors are important in it as well.
One location is another one. I'm not sure where that tax came from, which could be in this area. It could be in Findlay, North Dakota, a smaller town as well.
Of course, because as everything is so nearby. So again, once the realtor knows where exactly they're looking for, so we can set up a portal account to start looking homes for them. But of course, as Poonam mentioned, that search criteria has to be not too unrealistic. If you're giving me budget of $200,000 and only maybe $300,000, but you want a slab on grade, 2,000 plus square feet home. Gosh, no, there's no way we can find.
And I would say knowledge is power. We take pride into getting to know the area and stuff. So take advantage of that and, get to know what they know and, use those resources.
Very good. I want to talk about some of the what's not known when it comes to North Dakota disclosures.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because, there's some of those things that when you're going through this process that have to be disclosed by law. There's some states that have different requirements of, hey, you got to let the potential buyer know about this. Not everything in the two rivers, and of course we can add South Dakota. There's people streaming us around the country here. We get messages from Arizona on the regular as well. The disclosures in North Dakota aren't necessarily as robust as other states, is what I'm learning.
Well, here's first we should tell what are these property disclosures though, just to recap a little bit. So every seller has to fill those, especially if they have physically lived in that home. If that property has been treated just as a rental or something, it's a different story. Then they will just do non-owner occupied property disclosure. But if they have physically lived in this home, they have to fill those disclosures, basically telling the history of this home or if they have any water damage, electrical issues or anything. So they have to fill those, the condition of the house. What they don't have to disclose.
In North Dakota.
I really like the way we are shifting our episode from cows to computers to funky noises
We're all
in the
over the place.
basement. Yes. So there are things, especially top 4 things in North Dakota, sellers don't have to disclose if they don't want to disclose. The first one is ghosts.
And death.
And death in the house.
Death,
like actual death in the house. Doesn't matter if it was an accident or suicide or natural or homicide. They don't have to disclose if they don't want to.
Now,
And you referred to that as ghost, by the way.
Yes, ghost. Yes.
Everything that's haunting this thing before I buy it is a weird conversation and question to ask.
Well,
and if it's happening, you don't have to disclose it anyway in North Dakota.
So, because just imagine if the realtor you're working with, that realtor doesn't even live in that neighborhood. So, of course, realtor will have resources to find the questions or whatever. But I would still maybe talk to the neighbors or maybe drive around. Not on Sunday when everything is so quiet. I would highly recommend buyers to drive around in the weekdays as well. Mm-hmm. To see how the neighborhood is.
North Dakota friendly. I think people would be open to talk about it as well. Picture this. So there's freaky floor, right? Uh-huh. It could be old wood or Grandpa Joe checking in.
Okay, now you as real estate agents, has anybody ever asked you that's potentially buying saying, hey, do you know if anyone's died in this house? Has that ever been a question that's been... You're giving me a look like absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, that's
really?
Actually... Yeah. Especially, I'm going to be very honest, this is the very common question from our first-time home buyers.
Really?
Yes. Absolutely.
It is never... now, I've only bought 2 homes. I'm living in the second one right now. It's never crossed my mind to ever ask that question.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time for you two.
And actually, I think it depends on how we educate our buyers as well. Because in our first meeting, we do talk about all these things. Hey, if you have any questions about, the crime rate or that death in that house or, please ask us all the noise. Ask us the questions. We cannot just give you answers straight away, but we can definitely provide you resources. We can tell you, go at this time and drive around so we can guide them, navigate through, finding it out.
But this is one of the questions.
That is one of the questions. Okay.
This is one of the questions.
Floored me. I had no idea. It's never crossed my mind. Yes. I'll ask Eric Johnson. He's a homeowner. When you were buying your home, did it ever cross your mind to ask you, hey, did anybody die in this property before I buy it?
No, but I also bought it from the original owner.
Okay.
So that question was a little easier to answer.
That doesn't count then. Okay.
Yeah.
Other things.
So the other thing we were talking about neighbors with the past history. If they have very wild band going on in the garage. Mm-hmm. Just imagine, you're working night shifts, coming home, want to sleep in the daytime, and for God's sake, right next to your home, there's a whole band sitting and organized. But the garage door is closed, so you can't see it, So again, doing the research so your current owner does not have to disclose, hey, that's the reason I'm selling the home because I'm so pissed off because of my neighbor's kids and having that loud band.
It's the drums.
Exactly. So again, those are the things doesn't have to be disclosed.
Okay.
Remember, it's how would you feel if you realized your new alarm clock is just a jackhammer?
Right.
Yeah, be cautious. And, they don't even have to disclose if there's any registered sex offender living nearby.
Really? That's not
in the disclosures. Are you surprised?
Very much so.
Mm-hmm. So that's why we would say, be proactive about it. The one tip I will give you, go on the sexoffender.nd.gov website and ask your realtor. Again, ask neighbors. There's It could be Karen in the neighborhood who would know everything, but yeah.
right.
There's always one Bob and Karen.
You go with Bob. We went with Chad. That was our official. In studios, Poonam and Aruna. We'll come back. I want to find out what the listing of the month is, I guess, because it's been a whole month since I visited with them last time. So if you're looking to potentially buy, you're going to want to listen to what listing they have that they want to share with you as we conclude Afternoons Live here on KFGO. Got about 6 minutes until that 5 o'clock punch out. I wanted to get the listing of the month from Poonam and Aruna. If you're looking to buy, you're going to want to be listening to the details. What property do you have this month, Aruna?
So we have listing of the month. Guys, be ready. It's a beautiful home, one owner home only, listed for $349,900.
The price actually just got reduced. It was $10,000 price reduction. It's 2021 built 3-level home.
Yes, and it does have a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2-stall garage. The best thing, no backyard neighbors in this house, and a beautiful large stamped patio and deck. The landscaping is all done. Water softener and whole home filtration system is all included. And washer and dryer, security system, everything is included. So house is move-in ready.
Absolutely. There's a fireplace in there. There's stone countertops in the kitchen, custom X and walls, tall ceilings, a lot of windows for natural light. And it's a steal for this price. And the best thing is lower specials.
I was just about
So
to say
yeah,
lower
if you
specials.
are looking for a home, this is a steal. Go for it.
When you said 340, I was actually very
$349,900.
shocked.
$349,900. Yes.
Oh, my apologies, but it just
Nope.
had a drop of 10,000, he said?
Yes, it was listed for $359,900. Now it's priced to sell.
So guys, the address is 6060 78th Avenue, South Horace, North Dakota.
There you have it. You can go check it out at kfjo.com. You can find that real estate remix page. So you can contact them if you're interested. Give that address one more time if people want to write that down.
6060 78th Avenue, South Horace, North Dakota.
Very good.
3-level, yeah. 3-level, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2-stall garage, about 2,150 finished square footage.
That's right in that wheelhouse for a lot of people. When we talk about where the median sell price is right now, as the average home price, I mean, that's like right there, isn't it?
Absolutely. And because it's 2021 built and it's meticulously maintained, it looks like a brand new. If you build this house today with everything in it, you're probably going to end up paying about $30,000 to $35,000 more. So that's why I said it is a steal.
So still, you're not only paying more, but you're also waiting for the completion of that construction. If you're looking to buy
Absolutely.
something like this.
And
So-
lower specials because
Yeah.
a lot of specials have already been taken care of by the current
Yeah,
owner.
because Horace newer lots have higher specials. This one is under 30,000 specials.
Well, see, and that's the important thing, because when you say Horace, that's how we started the conversation about new development. Well, there have been a lot of development down there.
There you go.
And people are saying, okay, but the specials, what about them? And, well, this owner's already taken care of a good portion
Yes.
of that. So if people want to contact you, Aruna, I'll start with you. How do people get a hold of you?
So my cell phone number, so call or text, of course, the fastest way to communicate with us. My cell number is 701-552-1706.
And you, Poonam, if people want to contact you.
701-552-2937.
Poonam likes to have calls 24/7.
24, just round the clock.
I have no life. Yeah.
Readily accessible.
Go ahead. Yeah.
If you got questions about buying and selling, well, I guess Poonam is where you're going to, no matter what time of night you're thinking about, she's got answers for you. But, you know, in all honesty, if you have any questions, if you go to that kfgo.com page, you find that real estate remix with the sisters who sell and tell. If you scroll on down, you can ask a question. That comes right to us, and they'll get those, and they can respond to you at whatever hour they choose of the day. So how does that sound?
And you know, remember, you know, whether it comes to cows in the town or computers or just anything in North Dakota real estate, the only dumb question is the one you don't ask before you buy. So please ask any question.
Poonam said anything, maybe like marriage counseling question, or I don't know.
That's in a year or two, right? Working on that.
Yeah.
Ladies, it's always a pleasure to have you, and we'll do this again. In like 4 weeks' time. How's that sound?
Yes.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Very good. That's been Real Estate Remix, Poonam and Aruna. Again, one more time, just go to kfjo.com. You can find the previous month's podcast. If you have any questions, comments, you can leave those there, and they'll be able to respond to you, not just in a month's time, but when we get them. They can be responding to that.